So I'm gonna say that you're at your trailer when he shows up at your RV.
It's not a trailer.
It's an RV. I'm so
It's a
sorry.
Winnebago.
It's a recreational vehicle. All right. So I'm gonna say that you're over there when Officer York comes up. Do you have? Are you like outside, drinking or with the scrub tube right
Yeah, I
inside?
know. Scrub 2 is inside the RV, sleeping on his cot, which is now well established.
Alright.
He has a cot just for him. No, wait, that was for Winona.
That was for Winona.
Winona took up the whole cot. Scrub 2 is inside. Yep. Emily has to sleep in the passenger seat.
I love the idea of the dog sleeping on the floor and you sleeping in some sort of mess of a bed that probably has like a skull in it somewhere and everything else. Just a mess of stuff.
No, Winona has a nice comfy cot.
Yes.
She's my princess.
Pillows and everything else.
Uh-huh.
So, are you outside or are you hanging out
I'm
RV?
outside.
Okay. Drinking?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're just sort of sitting there when you see a cop car pull up.
Great.
Sheriff's office. And out steps Deputy York, who you've encountered him a few times before.
That's right.
How many times? Like
Twice.
All right. Yeah, I was trying to remember if there was another time. I kept thinking there was.
He pulled me over in the written prologue, and then we ran into him at the laundromat.
Yeah.
In the recorded prologue.
So he approaches, and what do you do when you see him walking over?
Spit my beer out.
Just spit it right on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he's alone when he's walking over. He doesn't have like backup or anything. No partner. And walks over and he says, "Good afternoon."
Hi, officer.
Ruby, right? Was it?
Yep. What's up?
All right. Well, I just had a few questions that I needed to ask you, and you
Is this about
available?
those super soakers? Because
kinda,
those kids gave it to me.
Just kind of stares at you for a second. No, it's
Oh, forget it.
Right. Well.
Is this about that cashier at the Halloween store?
Were you a witness to that? Grisly business.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, I hate to see it.
He was so young. Such a strange boy, but was taken from us so soon nonetheless.
He takes his hat off and does holds it to his chest for a second before he puts it back on.
So it wasn't about that. It's not about that?
No.
Let's see. What else?
Can I just talk to you?
Sure.
Are you free to talk for a bit?
I mean, I gotta get going in a few minutes. My sister's in town, and she needs your medicine. I have her medicine. She needs it, so I have to leave real soon. 10 minutes.
All right, that's more than enough time.
Okay. 5 minutes?
No, I think 10 minutes sounds good.
All right. We'll split the difference. 7?
If you really need to rush on over, I could give you a lift.
No, that's all right.
All right. Now, we got a report from
So you want a drink or something?
I'm just fine.
You want I have like a Monster Energy drink?
No, it's fine. Let's just get through this, and then you can go see your sister. No problem.
Okay.
So we received a report.
You're not hungry, are you? You want like a Hungry Man? I got all the kinds. Wait, no. Wait, please. All right, go on. I'm sorry. All right, I got about 8 minutes. 8 minutes left.
I'm just. I got all the kinds. Just
every last flavor.
Just imagining Ruby with the beer can still in her hand, but she's kind of like holding it close so that way maybe he doesn't notice. I got all the kinds. Stupid. Okay, anyway. Now hang on. I can't be smiling while I'm doing his voice.
He's a happy man.
He says, no, that's quite alright. Listen, let's just talk.
Sure.
And then I'll be out of your hair. We got a report of a young woman with dyed red hair.
Uh-huh.
Who... Now, this sounds a bit silly even to me. So
Yeah, right. I'm sure it's... Yeah, go on.
we had a report that a young woman with dyed red hair may have stolen a dog.
Oh!
From the local pound. Now...
Oh, that's just a... That's outrageous. Who steals a dog from a pound?
That's exactly what I
That
said.
doesn't make any sense, officer.
Now, I know you were in town for during Rockadawa, right?
Yeah, I performed. Did you catch that?
No, I'm afraid I was on duty that night. But
I was during the day.
what were you? Whatever.
You alright, officer? You sure you don't want one of those hunger map?
Listen here.
I gotta get going soon.
Now, may I ask you what you were doing that weekend?
Well, I was at the pound, officer, with my friend Emily. Emily Matthews. You met her from the laundromat.
Yeah, from your
Ooh.
LARPing group.
That's right. You never joined us LARPing. I thought you were gonna join us.
Now, when do you folks meet?
Well, you're interested.
Sure, yeah. Why not?
Well,
I'm
well.
sure one of my daughters would love that.
The thing is, you can't. You're actually. You know how it's kind of like a role playing game. You know how it's a law, how civilian we can't impersonate police officers.
He kind of lifts an eyebrow, like.
You know what I mean? You know how that's against the law.
I do know that, yes.
It's actually also, I don't know if you know this, it's also against the law for police officers to impersonate anybody else. It works both the opposite way, both ways. So you're actually not allowed to play.
He just kind of stares at you.
Yeah, I don't make the rules. Sorry, LARPing's out of the question.
I see.
Hmm.
Now, you and your friend Emily were at the pound then.
Yeah, well, Emily lost her cat, and we went to the pound to try to find her cat, and she never ended up finding it.
Well, that's a shame.
I didn't see any dogs. I mean, I was in the lobby the whole time while she did her thing with that lady there.
Now, are you certain
That
you didn't
steal a dog?
That you didn't happen to steal a dog?
I
think
officer,
we've all been there.
What? Wait, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You officer, you've been in a position where you wanted to steal a dog from the pound?
Of course, we've all gone through.
Wait,
that phase.
what? What are you talking about, officer?
I'm just saying it would be very understandable if you just decided that you really wanted a dog.
Well,
and you
why wouldn't I
decided-
adopt? Why wouldn't I just adopt the dog?
Well, that's
ridiculous.
what I said.
Yeah, exactly. This whole thing is just, well, between you and I, that lady at the pound, I mean, she's a little bit crazy, no?
He
Come
looks like
on.
he doesn't
Y-
want to
She
admit
probably
that, but
calls you all the time, right?
well, we are
You're probably on a first name basis. What's your name?
Mary.
Yeah, see, she probably calls every other week with some crazy nonsense.
He chuckles and he's just like, well, for the past month, she's been on this crazy nonsense, so
Right. Yeah. Next month it'll
figured,
be something else, I'm sure, right?
well, if we could find her dog, maybe she'll stop calling so much.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, I mean,
listen,
what?
I
Go
can make
on.
this all go away if you just. How about you let me check the RV, just make sure there's no dogs in there,
Officer, I
and
can
then we can just close this whole case.
I can assure you there is no dog in this RV.
Now, he just sort of smirks like, you mind telling me what that sound was? Just
That sounds uh
and he's getting closer to the RV.
okay, look, my friend Emily, she lost her cat, she couldn't find it, she was desperate, she stole the dog. It's in the RV and I'm just watching it. Okay? It wasn't me. It was Emily Matthews. I know where she lives. I'll give you her address. It was her.
Hmm.
Open up, go ahead.
And
Take the dog. I'm just watching it.
he opens up the RV. So he sees Scrub 2 and gives Scrub 2 a little scratch behind the ears, and Scrub 2 barks a little bit happily.
Good going, Scrub.
Now,
Look, officer, if you could just call Crazy Mary, she'll tell you my friend Emily, who by the way, not really even that good friends with, she was in hysterics. She was crying and grabbing Mary, hugging her, like begging her to help her find her cat, and then she took Mary over and looked at the dogs for some strange reason, which Mary and I both thought was kind of weird. And then suddenly the dog's missing. She snuck around and she stole it because she just needed to replace her cat. So much. Please, could you call Mary right now? Can we get her on the phone and she'll tell you how crazy this Emily chick was?
he looks like he really does not want to call Mary.
Yeah, please just call her. Call her and ask her about Emily.
Listen, Ruby.
Mhm.
Even if your story is true,
Mhm.
technically that would make you watching the dog makes you an accessory.
Yes.
Now, it's a $50 fee to adopt a dog. And sometimes they'll waive it if the dog is older or sickly. And you just gotta fill out some paperwork. Paperwork.
$50.
$50. Possibly waived if it's an older dog. Like, I noticed this dog. Why did you steal the dog?
I told you it was Emily. I'm just watching it.
He gives you a look like he does not buy that at all.
Okay, officer. You're telling me if I give you $50 right now and fill out some paperwork, then Scrub 2 is mine? And then we smash cut to Scrub 2 in the back of the cruiser being taken away. And Ruby waving them goodbye. Goodbye, Scrub.
Scrub 2 gets taken away.
Scrub 2 is looking out the big back window of the cruiser at me as I get smaller in the background.
What you could tell from what you could see of his eyes, he's just big eyes and go, poof, 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 poof.
Well, see you soon, Scrub 2.
Well, Levi, thanks for coming with me. I don't really know if it was necessary, but I definitely appreciate you letting me use you as a reference. I really hope I get this job.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you'll do great. Like, I'm more than happy to be a reference for you because you're like really cool and like really talented.
Oh, thank you. Talented enough to wait tables.
Well,
Thank
yeah,
you.
like it's a tough
Well,
job. You gotta like juggle a lot of plates, kind of
yeah,
thing.
and remember a lot of things, I guess, the menu. But
Absolutely.
so is your friend? What's their name again?
Oh well, Mr. Park is like my friend's dad.
Oh,
He's the guy who owns the restaurant. You know.
oh, Mr. Park. Okay.
Well, yeah, I
Uh,
mean, Mr. and Mrs. Park, I guess, together. But like, I think Mr. Park will probably do the interviewing because Mrs. Park's English isn't so good.
okay. Well, they said the restaurant is closed today since it's a Monday,
Right.
and so I was gonna have the interview there. So
So like, what would you say is like your greatest weakness? Just like I'm just like
uh,
trying to get you in the mindset for like these questions because
okay.
they're
My
gonna
greatest
ask you stuff
weakness.
like that.
Okay, so I have to answer in a way that doesn't make me look bad for the interview, though. That's the tricky
Exactly. Yeah, you
part,
gotta
right?
spin it, right? Oh man, you've
Yeah.
done this before.
Well, what I like to say for my greatest weakness is I just try to do too much myself and I don't delegate enough. So then that
Ooh,
makes me look like really,
a hard
really
worker.
like a hard worker. Yeah.
Wow, that's really smart.
That's crafty, huh?
Uh-huh. Okay, what about this one? This one always trips me up. Tell
Okay.
me about a time when, you were faced with like a really difficult customer. Like, how did you handle that situation?
Oh, well, I'm so charming that I just smiled and talked and let them rant a little. You have to let them rant.
Sure, yeah.
And because they just want to be heard.
Hmm.
And then after that you just smile and say and apologize because they also just want you to they just want someone to listen to them and know that their feelings are valid. And then just hopefully the restaurant would just replace their order. That's what I would do. Or if that's what the case was, if that's why they were
Sure,
upset.
yeah. Okay, good, nice, nice. And what days are
So
you available?
we don't have to go through the whole interview in the car, Levi.
Oh, you're right, you're right. Good
I mean,
call.
I think I can handle that one.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It seems like you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
so it
got it
seems like you
together.
guys arrived.
Oh man. Okay, well I undo my seatbelt
Yeah, so
and then
get
I open the
so
door.
Levi, guess what? Before you get out, I have something to tell you.
Yeah.
I have a new roommate.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, guess who?
Is it Mrs. Robinson?
No, it's Ruby. I'm gonna
Ruby.
be staying at yeah, I've been staying at the trailer, the RV, not the trailer, for a few days.
Whoa, how's that
So,
been going?
it's interesting.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so we should
Uh,
probably go in so I'm not late.
All right, so you have arrived at K Town. It looks pretty empty today because they're closed because I guess they close on Mondays. I think we're establishing.
Hmm.
So,
yeah.
yeah, it's pretty empty there. It's kind of a cold day too. Uh, one of those overcast kind of days. That's more like the sky is just white and just sort of everything just seems slightly ominous.
Hmm.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so
It bodes
that's
well. It's like a really good sign.
it is a good sign.
What a crazy
Is that
sign for my
there's a
interview.
You
is
know
the
what those
second that
sailors
you
say,
walk out.
ominous sky, sailor's delight, something like that. Like you're gonna be
I
fine.
I don't think they say that, Levi.
Well, it's a Maine thing.
And
Uh-huh.
the second you
Okay.
get out of the party van, I assume that Levi was dropping you off, or
Yeah, do you have
I thought
wheels
I was
anymore?
driving because I have that station wagon,
Oh, you do,
old
right.
that old Woody station wagon.
Yeah, it's
so
actually
the
pretty
second that
nice.
you get out of the station wagon, a gust of cold air just blows past you and messes up your hair and everything else.
Oh,
Oh no,
whoa! What was
you
that?
better act under pressure to straighten your hair out.
Was that Victor?
Who's Victor?
Nobody.
Wow.
I just felt like something went through me. That was weird. Okay. Just like I just got a chilling feeling. Okay, I hope this goes well. So, you want to just walk to the lobby with me and
Well, yeah, but I mean, I can come into the interview with you if you'd
I
like. Like,
I don't know if that's very professional.
Oh well.
Maybe you should wait in the lobby. I really appreciate you accompanying me. Really,
Okay.
Levi.
All right. I
You're
guess.
so helpful. But
I try.
I mean, it'll look like I brought my mom to the interview or something. Anyway,
Okay, that's fair.
okay. So we walk into
You're
the
gonna
restroom.
kill it. You're gonna do great.
Thanks.
All right. So, are you arriving on time?
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Well,
maybe a couple minutes
She's
before.
arriving 10 minutes early, probably.
well, either way, when you come through the door, Mr. Park is standing right there waiting for you.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Listen, that wasn't even bad.
So
Listen,
Levi, be polite.
be polite, Levi.
Oh, I'm straight faced. Like, I didn't do anything. Hi, Mr. Park.
Oh, hi, Mr. Park. My name is Emily Matthews.
Oh, Emery, hello. And
Hello.
he holds out. Brian, I swear to fucking God.
I just can't wait for this to get posted.
I like mutter under my breath. Levi, don't ruin my interview.
Levi.
You can just telepathically tell me that.
I should. Yeah, I
Yeah, I think
telepathically
you
say,
did.
Levi, knock it off.
Okay.
Chill, Levi. Yeah, I'm here for my 2 o'clock interview.
Oh, very good, very good. Okay, well, let's do
I
it.
guess you. Okay.
And he takes you over to. He's not taking you to like the back room or anything. He's just taking you to. I think it's probably the same table that you guys always sit at.
Okay.
I give you 2 big thumbs up as you walk away.
Yeah, and you're probably like just like at a different table, like a booth, just sort of like watching from
And
behind
pretending
the
to
booth.
browse the menu, but like actually watching.
Like I can probably see Levi over Mr. Yoon's shoulder, Mr. Park's shoulder.
No, I'm not tall enough, honestly. Well, maybe,
Right.
maybe
Yeah,
over
I'm
him.
just
Past his
imagining
shoulder.
you like creeping
Making
around
faces at me.
creeping around the booth, trying to
that's
be
me.
inconspicuous, but you're not. So,
Okay.
Emery, tell me why you want this job.
Well, I need a job. I'm not employed right now, but I did have a really good job back in Oregon. I'm just here for an undetermined amount of time. So I need to work, and I'm a really hard worker.
They hire you?
No, it was just not exactly. We came to an agreement just because I needed to be in this part of the country.
So you quit your job?
Yeah, I had to, just for logistic reasons, but I really do want to work, and I'm a really good worker.
So where do you live? You leave this. You left this part. You left it blank on your.
Oh,
Where
here,
do
let
you
me.
live? You need an address.
Okay, let me fill that in. I actually just moved recently. I was staying in a hotel, but I do have a roommate now, so I do have a place of residence. It's it's that it's the Dewa campground outside of town.
The thing is, I don't even think
The
Ruby's
P.O. box.
technically there. Like, I don't think she's
actually.
I think she's just on the side of a road.
Actually, that's actually a good idea. Sorry, I have a PO box. You can send my checks to, or my mail to. If I get the job, I'm not trying to be.
Regalry. I think you need address where
Okay.
you live.
Okay, I can get that for you. I don't
Okay.
know it offhand. It's
Okay.
just a new address.
Okay. Now, are you a
And-
hard worker?
Telepathically, I asked Levi, "What's your address?"
I don't.
No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to tell me.
I walk by and I like. Wait, let me think. How do I get this information back to you?
Levi, sit down. Go sit down.
I'll just start thinking about my address really hard and see if you can read my mind.
Okay. Oh, I just remembered the address. Let me fill that part in for you.
Okay.
Okay, so I just write it in.
Yeah, 423, Peachtree Street.
Okay. Yeah, he looks it over and he just sort of like mentally files it away and puts it in his coat pocket.
Okay.
Tell me more about yourself. About you.
Yeah, I am a really hard worker. Um, I'm available part-time right now. Um, and I'm really good at customer service, and I have a great memory, and I can carry a lot of plates.
Oh,
So
you
yeah.
you show me.
Oh, okay. Is there gonna a demonstration?
Yeah, so he's gonna walk over to like near the front where they keep the dishes and stuff,
Hmm.
and he's gonna say, he sort of just that was not a good whistle, but he sort of like whistles at you and like motions for you to come over to follow
Okay.
him over to there.
Okay. So I followed him.
How many you
Oh,
carry?
how many do you need me to carry usually? I can probably
How
handle
many
whatever.
total? Show me.
Well, what's your average party? Like 6 or 8?
Just how many?
6?
What is most you
Okay.
think you can do?
Okay, so Emily just starts piling plates on her arms, and um, can I actually roll for that?
Yeah, you're gonna have to roll to see.
You want to go beyond human
Yeah,
limit?
I want to do human limits and carry a whole bunch of like 2 huge stacks of
Yeah.
plates. Okay.
Meanwhile, I've got
I,
I got up and I went over to the fish tank, and I've been watching the fish, but also I've been trying to water bend the water inside the fish.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
I know it doesn't work, but I'm doing it.
I forgot
you're
what
trying
my
and you're just failing. I'm just letting you
Yeah.
know you're failing.
Right.
That's plus weird.
plus weird. Okay, plus weird is I think a 1. No, it's
So
a
you
1. So that's 7.
Okay, so
Oh, wait, can I help her somehow?
you could try. How you
Let
have
me
to
think.
give me a
I know, I gotta
creative
think.
way
I know,
that
I
you're
know,
gonna
I know,
help.
I know, I know.
So on a
I
7, let me just before you do that. On a 7 to 9, you do it, but choose one consequence: suffer harm, take one, suffer one harm, take one forward, -1 forward, or you need to rest right now. Mm.
How about what I
Fine,
do
sure.
is, I point out that she's like holding one plate in the wrong spot for like physics
No,
wise, like
no,
be
you're
like,
gonna
hey, wait.
have to. You're gonna have to actually help in some way.
Oh, um, um,
Well, I don't. Are you going to decide
I
what
don't think
that?
I should then because that would probably be interfering a little bit too much. So never mind. I'm just gonna still keep water bending.
All right.
Okay. Well, I don't know if that's something you're going to decide, but I was thinking one could start slipping and Levi could just run over and catch it or something. I don't know. So it doesn't break.
If you wanted to do that, otherwise, I would say maybe you're gonna take
No,
it.
if that works for helping, then yeah, I'm happy to.
Well,
What
I'm
was
not.
your
I'm
But then
not
other?
saying that that's gonna have a good effect overall. I'm just saying that that's gonna let her carry everything without
yeah, never mind. I
breaking.
think you'll be fine.
What were you going to say though, Rose?
No, I was gonna
Before?
say as the consequence, maybe take -1 forward, and then if you roll again, you're gonna have -1 on it.
Okay, let's do that.
All right. So
So you did it,
how
but it
many
really tired your arms out or something.
how many plates are you holding right now? Paint
I
me a
think I have.
visual of how you're holding them and how many.
Okay, so my visual is that I've kind of got my arms kind of together in front of me, and I've got 2 stacks where I have one hand kind of holding the edge of each stack, and so maybe like 6, 6 on each arm because they're empty, so they're stacked.
Okay. I think
So
you'd
it's
be
like
able to
if there
do a
were
few more than
food.
that.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
was
not
thinking
beyond
6 or
human
8.
limit.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. So I don't know, 12 then.
Yeah. All right. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, 12 sounds good.
12 on each arm, and then yeah. I mean, if I'm carrying food plates, they're going to be either on a tray or they're going to be tapered. They're not going to be all stacked up on each other.
Yeah. I
But
think
yeah,
this would be more like you taking away dirty plates, probably.
okay.
Yeah. So he looks very impressed actually, which is the first time that he's looked impressed because mostly he's had a very like serious expression during all of this. But he's looking at that and he's just like nodding, like, "Yep, that's impressive right there. That's a lot of plates." He says, "Very good.
Yeah, this is a piece of cake.
Can you put them
I
down?
don't know if you serve cake. No pun
We have
intended.
cake.
Yeah.
We have cake. Yes."
Okay. Yeah, I put them down.
You
Do I
you're
have to roll for that?
you're carrying a lot of plates. You act under pressure.
Okay. So it's a minus. What's after under pressure again?
That's cool. So that's gonna be a -1
Oh,
for
0 and it's -1. Okay. Oh shit.
Oh no.
you didn't even need the -1 on
Oh,
that.
now can I help you?
I don't think you can help
I think I know what's gonna happen here.
because there's a -1 on that
Yeah, but if I help successfully, then it goes up.
to 6.
Like if I help with a 12 or more, she goes
But
up.
how
She
can
gets a
you
12.
how can you help me?
Yeah, how are
in
you
this
going to help?
situation?
Because she is about to drop these plates.
Yeah.
What is?
I think
What was the task that she was trying to do? Just not
She's
drop
Just set
them?
them
she's trying to
down.
set them down nicely.
Oh, I fuck. What? Uh, can I distract Mr. Park and while you like clumsily let them down?
They're gonna break.
Yeah, they're about to fall. She's trying to balance them and she's failing to
I'd
balance.
say just nothing at this point, just because it's just gonna.
Okay, I'll just sit here. I've almost moved this fish like with my mind, so I'm I'm really focused.
Okay. All right. So you try your hardest to put those down, but you lose your balance and then you try to catch one and then you forget that you still have a bunch of plates on your other arms and then you try to catch those and then you're just sort of doing this dance of like trying to balance them in the air until they all just you're sort of like hitting them back up in the air trying to juggle them and they just clatter to the ground. Thankfully that they are actually plastic.
Oh, thank
So they
goodness.
didn't shatter, but they fall all over the floor with like this deafening like clattering sound. Because this place was completely silent before that, and he looked impressed, but I was not.
Oh, I am so sorry. I'll pick them all up. So I kind of gather them up.
You need to learn your limits.
That's a really good point. I mean, probably wouldn't be carrying this many normally. I admit I was just trying to impress you a little because I can carry a lot, but I'm usually not this klutzy, I promise.
He just sort of thinks that over. He's like, why should we hire you?
Well, I think you need somebody, but I just think I'm really a hard worker. I'll be on time. I'll be the hardest worker you've ever had, I promise.
Big
I mean,
promises.
if you give me a chance, I won't let you down. I'm very responsible.
What makes you come to this town? I have no idea what my accent is doing right now. He asks you what brought you to this town in the first place.
Oh, I like the way you're saying it.
Yeah, well, no, it was
Keep
that was
going.
not a Korean accent. That wasn't even an accent that exists in this world. But no, he's gonna. I'll try to get it back, but he's gonna ask you. What made you quit your job and come here? Since you're saying you're so reliable.
Right. My family's originally from here, and I came to see an old friend. You might know Mr. Robinson.
Ah.
I'm the dry cleaner, and
I know him.
my parents.
He doesn't actually look all that happy when you say Mr. Robinson.
Oh, great.
He sort of has like this look of like, yes, my rival next door.
I say to Levi telepathically, could I be doing any worse right now?
I find it weird that the Korean restaurant owner finds a laundromat to be their rival.
It's more like they're like rivals for the the area, the space, like the parking lot.
I see.
Okay, and I see Levi kind of standing, not right next to us, but close enough where he can kind of hear. And I say to him, okay, I'm going to go for the sympathy card now. So telepathically, I say that. So the reason I'm here is my parents recently passed away. So I'm just here settling some of their estate, and it's just taking longer than I thought.
You work tomorrow?
What time would you need me?
6 a.m.
Yeah, I can. 6 a.m. What
Yes.
time do you open?
7.
You open at 7. Okay, yeah.
In the morning.
I can be there at 6. At 6,
They,
yeah.
they do it. Listen, they just do it. Okay?
Emily thinks he must be testing her. Yes, I can be here at 6.
Very good. You work weekends?
Yes. How many days a week would you need me?
He thinks about that for a second. He says, "You must be on call all times."
Oh, well, I was kind of looking for a job where I would work maybe 3 or 4 days a week. That's what the help wanted sign said.
3-4 days a week, but on call all time.
Don't you have like a weekly schedule?
No.
Okay. Well,
For
I would
you,
kind of
no.
need a schedule so that I knew when to be here.
I call you. You come.
I can't really be on call.
Don't want job.
I do want job. I definitely need a schedule because I do have, other things that I need to take care of as well.
You do a state when you not work.
What was that?
You do a state when you not work.
I do a state?
That's why you here. Yes?
Oh, I state? Why? What? I misunderstood.
Your parents' estate.
No, but I'm asking him because he has an accent. Let him answer me.
You do.
Levi's not answering for it.
You do father's estate.
Oh, estate. Okay. Yeah, exactly. But I have other responsibilities too. So I would just prefer if there was a schedule.
You have a child?
No, I don't have a child.
What do you do? Why no
well,
on call?
I just have other things that I do in my life.
Like?
To be honest with you, Mr. Park, I don't think you can really ask me that.
I can.
Okay. Well, I was hoping to. All right. Well, it's just other responsibilities, things I need to do. So.
She's really committed to her LARPing club, Mr. Park.
LARP.
To my what?
To your LARPing club. Oh yeah.
LARPing.
How do you say it, Mr. Park? I forget.
LARPing.
LARPing.
I don't understand what you're saying. What?
Emily, remember our LARPing? It's like, when we like fight with swords and like we go out and pretend like and all that stuff. Remember that stuff that we talked about to the cop in the first episode?
Oh, okay. Thanks, Levi.
What day you need off?
I would like one weekend day off. What days are you open?
Every day.
Not Sunday?
Not Monday.
Not Monday. Okay.
Today.
So like Sundays and Mondays off? Or not Sunday?
Sunday, Monday, yes.
Okay. I could do that.
Any other day you are on call.
Okay. Do you give a weekly schedule? Because I would really need to know in advance,
No
like
schedule.
a week in advance.
No schedule.
Okay. All right. Well,
No.
thanks for the interview.
Job or no job? You want?
I'm going to try to manipulate him into actually telling me he'll give me a schedule.
You could try that, yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna have a -1 on that though.
Okay, it's fine.
This I can help out though.
This is going to be a better role.
You could certainly help out.
Yeah,
on
he could.
this. No, you don't have to help out on
Whoa.
Okay. So it's at 11.
Yeah.
So
I'll
yeah, I
count
would
it
just,
as a 12.
I'll come when you need me. I would just like to know, like, the weekly schedule in advance, if that's possible. But otherwise, I'll be here when you need me to be here. I just need the schedule. I'm just a very methodical person, and I like just to know what I'm doing every day. It's just hard for me to just, I would want it, in all fairness to you, if I'm just not close enough to run right in. I mean, I think it would work out better for both of us if there was a schedule.
Fine.
Okay.
You get the schedule.
Thank you.
You come when we need you, but on schedule. Fine.
Okay.
Yes. But tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow at 6.
Tomorrow, 6 a.m.
6 a.m. till when?
Until done.
Till dawn.
He said done.
Oh, done.
Until done.
6 a.m. until dawn the next day.
That would actually be amazing.
That is dawn. Okay. Okay, done. Deal. So I'm hired?
You're hired. So you wake up, and I think the first thing that you notice is this is not a bed that you recognize. It's not particularly comfortable, and you kind of feel a little bit out of it. Like a little bit dizzy and a little bit tired. And wherever you are, it seems to be dark. And I think it slowly dawns on you that you are in a hospital bed. And you have restraints on you.
Oh, God.
And the second thing that you notice is that you aren't alone in this room.
Hello?
Hello.
Who the hell are you?
It's Dr.
Where am I?
You're in the hospital.
A hospital?
Yes, it seems...
Why the hell am I in the hospital?
It would seem someone stabbed you in the back.
Well, I mean, that's true and all, but we patched it up real good. I don't know what the problem is.
Well, it would seem that you have an infection.
Infection?
And then, after surgery, you started to shout at various hospital employees, including the nursing staff, and you were shouting something. They didn't tell me what it was, but whatever it was, they seemed to be afraid for their lives, and so you've been sedated and restrained.
I had surgery? I don't
Yes.
remember any of that.
Well, obviously they didn't have you awake for surgery, now did they?
I mean, I don't know, doctor. You tell me. Am I still in the hospital?
Yes, you are. And they're actually considering moving you to a psych ward.
Psych ward? What did I say?
Whatever it was loud, angry, and made a lot of people very, very frightened.
I mean, that's just my personality, man. I don't know why they need to persecute me for that.
Well, it seemed that you weren't coming to reason even when they tried to calm you down. Thus, the
Well, I'm feeling just fine, Doc. I mean, I'm feeling a little woozy, but
that's probably because of the tranquilizers.
yeah, the tranquilizers. I mean, I think I'm fine, Doc. I mean, honestly, my back is feeling a lot better too. I think I could just walk right out of here if you
And
let me.
that would be the painkillers.
I mean,
They have you
painkillers,
doped up
maybe.
very
Maybe it's
well.
just. I don't know, Doc. I think if you just loosen these restraints, I could be right on my way. We don't have to speak about this again.
Well, I'm unfortunately not in a position to do that. I don't actually work here, but I have some
You're an
contacts at the
intruder?
No, technically
Wait
I'm
a minute.
guest.
Don't I know that voice from somewhere?
Yes, you do. We've met before.
Have we? Are you from Tennessee?
No, and I've never been, in fact.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I mean, the accent, I would be surprised, but wait a minute. Are you the Melchior?
That's right.
Melchior lady?
That's right. The college is only about 7 minutes away. I come
And
over
you
here
just
sometimes to volunteer my services. I have friends who work here. And sometimes I set up appointments with my students to work in the hospital, mostly as social workers, and that's technically what I am acting as right now for you.
a social worker.
That's right.
And what exactly are you trying to socialize with me, Doc?
Well, I'm trying to make sure that you're not a danger to yourself or others so they can let you out of here.
Is that the impression you got from me last time, Doc?
I don't think my impression of you then matters. It's certainly not a matter that the hospital really cares about. They just
I
want
mean,
you to
I
say
can
something.
tell you after our last session, I mean, I can't thank you enough. I felt more prepared than ever after that. I mean, I just seem to have, any item in my pocket that I could possibly think of. I mean, I don't know if it's amnesia or what, so maybe it's a bad thing, really, but man, it all stemmed from that day. It seemed like it's weird.
That is weird. Considering that's not what the boost that she gave you.
I mean, that was definitely correlation there, Doctor. I'm pretty sure. So thank you for that gift.
Well, perhaps the preparedness was inside of you all along. But that's...
Wow. You think? Man. Can you unlock another treasure for me, Doctor?
Perhaps I will. But we need to talk.
Oh, man. Alright, yeah, I guess we gotta get the serious stuff out of the way first. I mean, I don't want to go to no psych ward or anything, Doc.
Yes, I think that would be best for everyone involved if you were not committed.
My friends need me.
That's right. Now, tell me, you were shouting a name. That's what they told me, anyway. But I wasn't here to know what name it was. What were you shouting at the nurses?
I mean, I don't remember any of that, really, Doc. I mean...
Well, I'm not surprised you don't remember, but what do you think you were shouting?
I mean... I don't know. I mean, my back injury is from some kind of honey creature or something, and it looked a lot like this girl I once knew. So I don't know. Maybe it was her name. Maybe it was Todd's name. Maybe I was trying to ream him out, but I don't know.
This girl, you said that she stabbed you.
Well, I mean, yeah, she looked a lot like Amba, but she ain't Amba, Doc. I mean, we killed her. I mean, right there on the spot, and let me tell you, that was not some kind of flesh and blood creature. I can tell you that much.
Interesting. We'll have to talk about that more later. I am curious, though.
Okay.
What is your relationship with this girl who apparently stabbed you in the back? Or a honey version of her stabbed you in the back?
Oh, Amba? Did I never tell you about my sweet Amba? She was she loved my life, Doc. She got taken from me some months back, and I ain't never gonna stop trying to hunt her down, Doctor. Until it's, until I draw my last breath, I'm gonna be chasing this girl, because that was the best night of my life. I mean, she didn't honestly say that much to me, but just those few hours together, I know that she was the one, Doc. I'm sorry if I'm getting too gushy or something, but
That one.
this girl has that effect on me.
That one night. You knew her for how long?
Well, I mean, who's counting? But I would say, you know, five, maybe 6 hours.
You knew her for 6 hours. And
I mean, we were in each other's presence for 6 hours at least. I was talking to her for a good, 3 or 4 hours for sure.
And you've been hunting her for how long?
Oh, man, kind of lost count, but it's been months. I mean, I've gone back and forth across this country, Doc, already, and I'm just really getting started.
Don't you think
No solid leads just yet.
Don't you think that's a little odd to be so attached to a woman you hardly knew?
Hardly knew. I mean, Doc, we may have only spoke for, 3, 4 hours, but those were some soul bonding moments right there. It's like I knew her for a lifetime. I mean, I feel like we're lifelong partners, and I mean, maybe I'm just projecting, but I know she felt the same way about me. No doubt in my mind.
Have you ever had any other female figures in your life of such great importance?
Well, I mean, who's to say, really? I mean, there was, my mom Tree, but she's not around anymore.
Your mother Tree.
Oh yeah, that was my mother Tree. Yeah,
her name
that was her name.
You know, I don't think I've ever met a tree.
You've never met a tree before, really? There's at least 3 in my town growing up. I mean, we're not a very creative folk in nowhere, Tennessee. I mean, I must admit. I mean, nameless Tennessee. Oh, see, it's such a nondescript town, Doc. I forget the name sometimes. So I ain't have one.
It might be the tranquilizers. They used a heavy dose on you. In fact, it's rather surprising that you're able to talk at all right now.
Oh, well, I'm strong as a bull. What can I say? I just fall right through the pain sometimes. But, yeah, we're not a very creative bunch and nameless, and sometimes we kind of just look around at our surroundings and, just pick out a name based on that. So there's a lot of dirts growing up. There's a lot of house, that kind of thing. I mean, it's a very common tradition in that town. But it really was quite thin for the woman, because, man, she loved the forest. She taught me really so many things. She probably only spoke, I don't know, a few dozen sentences all the time I knew her, but, man, I mean, sometimes wisdom is transcendent to words, I guess you could say.
Interesting. Your mother didn't speak much.
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, I think most people in the town thought she was damn near mute, but no, she had something to say now and then, but she really reserved it for when it was something of some importance.
Interesting. What about your father?
Oh, my father, well, that's a whole different story, Doc. I mean, my father, Obadiah, he was, I guess you could say I got part of him, in me, but kind of the worst, most sinful parts, I guess you could say. He was no good drunk. He was a gambler. I mean, I didn't really carry that trait on him, but he drove my family right into the ground, and more ways than one, I guess.
Like what?
Well, I mean, one day I, came home from, the milk run, like I always did, walking 2 miles to the nearest town, grabbing that bag of milk, slap it over my shoulder, and come on back to the log cabin. And I heard some commotion inside of our house, saying, well, I mean, this was nothing new, really. So I kind of just decided to weigh it out because, man, I had walked into some precarious situations before with my parents when I was hearing all that noise, and I didn't want the embarrassment again. But it just kept going and going, and all of a sudden just kind of stopped, and my curiosity got the best of me, and suffice to say, I went inside, and Father Obi was holding a bloody knife above Mama, and that was the first life I ever took, Doc. Shotgun right to the chest. I still carry that shotgun to this day. In fact, I mean, I have some kind of a sick satisfaction, I guess you could say, some kind of keepsake. It's really the only thing that reminds me of Mama anymore. I mean, I'm sorry if that was too much information for you, but
Oh no, that's
that's the main memory of Papa, really.
He sounds like a bastard.
I mean, yeah. There wasn't really any redeeming qualities I can think of for the man.
So I don't think you could actually see her. I think she's sort of like, just sort of standing over the bed, but she's not really looking at you. But she asks, was there ever any kind of investigation?
Into my parents' murders?
Yes.
Well, that's what I assumed as a naive young 12-year-old, and I thought that was just kind of the way of the world, so I kind of just fled into the woods, hid out for a long, long time. I mean, I'm talking like a decade, really, before I even mustered the courage to go back into any town. But I mean, as far as I know, the police kind of just eventually stopped over at the cabin, saw 2 dead bodies, and were just like, I mean, I'm speculating here, but I'm pretty sure they just ruled it, a double homicide. And, well, I mean, if both suspects are dead, then, no big deal, really. Just, check that one off, check that box right off the sheet or something. But no, I mean, I've never gotten asked about it ever since. Unless it's some kind of cold case or something, but...
Interesting. So what did you do in the woods, and when did you leave?
Well, I had a lot of wilderness knowledge, up to that point. I mean, as a young 12-year-old even, but, man, I learned really everything there was to know in that ensuing decade right there, and built several cabins, burned one down, and, very lonely time, really. I mean, I befriended a few animals. There was a dog, there was a squirrel, there was a rabbit for a time, there was even a woodpecker that kind of flew around my cabin, and ended up, killing the structure of that cabin and sent it to crumble to the ground over time. But I mean, this is neither here nor there. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it was a very dark time in my life, Doc. There's been a lot of dark times in my life, but man, 10 years on your own will do things to your mind. A lot of introspection, but a lot of insanity too, or something like that.
That certainly would explain quite a few things about you. Now,
Oh, well, okay.
you burned down one of your own cabins?
Oh yeah. I've burnt down, several though. I mean, some of them I mean, most of them completely by accident, but I mean, I guess the least accidental one was, I didn't mention I had a dog friend, and yeah, that was Rufus. He was just some dog out in the woods. He was looking real ill, and decided to take him in and try to raise him right. I patched him up, he was looking good. He was on the road to recovery, but one morning I just woke up and Rufus didn't have no eyes no more. He had a couple of spider nests in there, and man, I still shudder to think of the sight. But let's just say that cabin got torched down pretty quick after that. Man, I made sure that there was no living creature coming out of that cabin that day besides me. I mean, ever since that day, Doc, every spider I see, I'm sorry.
When you're saying
One
this,
animal I fear.
when you're saying this about the animals, I think she turns to look at you, and like she usually doesn't really change expressions too much, but I'll tell you in a second. Let me just say it for the recording.
I think it's back now. But
Okay. But she's finally looking at you and just like staring at you with like these big wide eyes as you're talking about like the spider eating this dog's eyes out. That's probably the first time you've ever seen her emote. She's just like staring at you. It takes her a little bit to sort of recollect herself and calm down and go back to her more neutral state. And she seems to just sort of want to avoid that subject. And she says, "So, do you think it's because of your mother that you're so upset about this Amber person?"
Oh, I mean, man, you really are a professional, Doc. You're drawing all kinds of lines between my past and my present. But, yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, they're both amazing women. I mean, in different ways, I guess. But, I love both of them dearly. And, unlike with Mama Tree, I mean, I don't think it's too late to save Amber. I really believe she's still out there somewhere, Doc, and I can still save her. I just got to find out where that girl ran off to, really, or got taken, whatever the case might be.
And if she ran off, wouldn't that just mean that she went the way that she expected to? And
Well,
what would you do
I
if
mean,
it turned out that she ran away?
I mean, that's one theory, I guess, Doc. But I mean, I know this girl. I know her dearly, and I know she would never just run off on me without a word. I mean, that just doesn't sound like her, Doc. Why would she do that to? Why would she do that to me?
I don't know. But she only knew you for a single afternoon or night.
I mean, I guess you can say that, but man, no, that just doesn't sound like her. Don't believe it.
And then when you met, apparently a version of her, a honey version. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, it's the honey version.
She stabbed you in the back.
Oh yeah.
How does that
Yeah.
make,
She had me fooled.
now how does that make you feel? That you were stabbed in the back by a version of your long lost love?
Oh well, not too good, really. I mean, that kind of smarted a little bit, but I felt a lot better actually in a weird way. I mean, after we found out she was a honey person, I mean, I had my doubts for a second, I guess, when she initially stabbed me in the back. I was like, wow, I mean, what happened to you, Amber? Did they brainwash you or something? But, man, it only took a few seconds before I realized this ain't the real Amba. She would never do that to me. And, yeah, it turned out she was 100% all along, so I guess I don't feel too bad about it, really. 'Cause, I mean, it ain't her. It was just, I don't know, someone playing tricks or some evil doppelganger of hers. I don't know how that works, but yeah, it ain't her, so no skin off my back. I mean, pardon the pun, but, you know.
Now tell me, what would you do if you met her again, and she didn't want to be with you?
Oh, wow, you're talking in some wild hypotheticals back, but, I mean, I'll humor you, I guess.
Yes, humor me.
Okay, yeah. I mean, oh, man, this crazy scenario you could, what would I do? Well, I mean, I'd probably first ask her, you know, if she's a honey person, of course. I mean, you gotta do that check now. I mean, I feel like I gotta do that check everywhere. You know, I've been slapping salt into people's hands all around town, and I don't think they really understand, but, I mean, you just gotta be sure. I don't know if it spreads outside that mansion at this point. But, you know, that's definitely the first thing I would do. Wouldn't be acting herself, and, she passed that test. Find out if she's brainwashed, you know. I mean, someone could have taken her, brainwashed her against me. Maybe Toddy's behind it. I would have to ask her about his involvement. That, you know. Yes, I would just have to respect her wishes. If that crazy hypothetical were to happen, I mean, it's not like I would just, you know, chase her around the country after that or anything like that. I mean, that would just be crazy. I mean, if she doesn't want to be with me. But, yeah, I mean, I guess I would have to accept it, but, I mean, hypothetical, Doc, I mean, I'm suspecting some kind of foul play here.
Alright, so you aren't going to kill her or anything?
Oh, kill her, Doc? I mean, no, I mean, you know, I mean, I guess you can't really predict what will happen when your emotions, you know, go sky high like that, but I mean, come on, I mean, this is Amber we're talking about here. I mean, you know, our passion runs very deep, Doctor, but, I mean, kill her? I mean, you know, I don't know. Probably not. No, I don't think so.
Okay, Zeke. Listen. That's very interesting. I'm going to ask again, and this time you say, of course, I would never kill anyone.
Okay, I mean, makes you happy.
Just say that when I ask this question. You aren't going to kill her, are you?
Of course. I would never kill anyone else, no.
No, just say, I would never kill anyone.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, I'll stick to the script this time, Doc. I'm so sorry.
You aren't going to kill her, are you?
No, Doc, I would never kill anyone. No.
And you aren't going to harm yourself, are you?
Myself, you know. No, it's not like I would, you know, have nothing left to live for at that point. Like that, like, no, I mean, you know, there's so much more joy out there in the world. I mean, I got my Monster Hunter friends now. Yeah, no, I wouldn't hurt myself. No, of course not.
Okay. Then it sounds like you're not a danger to yourself or others.
Hey, yeah, no, I'm not.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow,
So,
you're really good, Doc.
I'm the best.
You really are. Oh my goodness.
Now,
I did not see that coming.
let's settle this now, while you're still tranquilized and restrained. We'll solve this, get you out of the hospital, and I will give you a ride back to Makadewa. To where are you staying now?
Well, that's a good question. You got any money to spare, Doc, by chance? I'm sorry to ask that. I assume not. I I guess you could drop me at Levi's house or something.
I can give you $50 and I'll drop you off at Levi's house.
$50. Oh man.
It's what I have on me right now.
Well, all right, Doc. I mean, that would cover some of my debts for sure.
All right. Now, if I'm going to give you this money, I do need to ask you a favor in the future. However, it won't be for a while. It'll be after your recovery. And you'll just have to do it.
All right.
I'll tell you what it is when the time comes.
Oh, I don't get to hear what it is now. I mean, what if it's something really dastardly, Doc? I mean, not that you would suggest anything so evil, but I mean,
It'll probably
there's a
just
blank
be,
check here.
It'll probably just be some clinical work, actually.
Oh, clinical work, huh? Okay. I mean, don't call me a negotiator or nothing, but what would you say if you covered all my debts and paid for a few more nights at the hotel? Would that be okay? I mean,
You'd be doing a lot of clinical work.
a lot of clinical work.
In the future, after you've recovered fully.
Okay, you got yourself a deal, Doc. We'll do the one clinical work, $50. Yeah, that sounds alright.
Oh, so just the one? Because I will pay for your hotel and for the hospital bill. And any other debts that may have been incurred
They
in your
bill for
time.
hospitals?
They do. It's America.
Oh my God.
I know.
Wow, it's so different out here in society.
I completely agree with you, actually.
Even Nameless doesn't charge anything for doctor visits. I mean, that's all off the books, very off the books, Pat, but
Do they have doctors?
I mean, yeah, I mean, we have Dr. Joe, I guess. I mean, he's got like a white jacket and stuff, so he looks like a doctor, and he knows his way around a needle.
No, that's fair. That's really all you need to be a doctor. Anyway.
Yeah, he only charges $5 a visit too. I mean, it is a price, but
Honestly,
I mean, it seems pretty reasonable.
Honestly, that's very reasonable.
Yeah, you can just give him like a pint of beer too for his troubles. I mean, that's also a valid payment.
That's reasonable too.
Yeah, I wish all doctors could be like that, Doc. I mean, how much hypothetically would a hospital charge for my visit, do you think?
I believe it's a couple thousand.
Okay, but seriously, Doc, I mean,
No.
how much?
No, it's America. It's awful. It's
You serious?
I'm dead serious.
Oh my God, I mean, just for a little gash in my back?
And the infection and the tranquilizers and the restraints. Yes, they actually do charge you after they drug you and restrain you. It's a little bit silly, in my opinion.
That is positively medieval, Doctor. But I'll take your word on that, I guess.
But I can help you with the bill, and by help I mean I will pay for it. If you agree.
If I do the deluxe?
Yes, in the future I will ask you for some favors.
I mean, that's a hell of an offer, Doc. I guess I'd be a fool to refuse that. So you got yourself a deal.
Excellent. All right.
I would shake your hand, but my current situation doesn't really call for it, I suppose. Can't really move at all.
I'll be getting a orderly in here soon to unrestrain you, and then you can sign a few papers. And we'll be out of here in about an hour, probably.
I mean, okay. Sounds good to me, Doctor.
I'll put you up in a hotel room for a few days.
A hotel?
Whatever they have in Makadewa. I don't think there's a lot of choices, but yes.
Oh my God. I'm gonna live in the ritzy life all of a sudden.
Yeah.
There's a very nice hotel up the road. I mean, man.
I'll get you the nicest room they have. Well, let's get this paper signed.